Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Irene and today I'll show you some Dollar Tree makeovers for this Christmas. For my first DIY you'll need a coniferous garland. It consists of really nice spruce twigs, natural cones and red berries. First I disassemble the garland. All the twigs, cones and berries here are just strapped with thin wire to the main thick stem, no glue or anything, so it's disassembling very easily. In addition to this garland, I needed some dry branches. To make my work a little bit easier, I took some freshly cut branches from my garden and shortened them to desired size before drying. It's easier to work with them while they are still fresh. You'll need some straight sticks without bends or curves, a dozen longer, these I cut to 16 inches, and a dozen shorter ones, here about 10-inch length. Here I'll assembling the sticks in the form of a window. Put two longer sticks at the very edge of the frame and one more in the middle. Then go 4 shorter cross sticks. The central long stick is to go over the upper and lower cross pieces, and the intermediate cross pieces go under it. After that, I'm adding 2-3 more short sticks at the top and bottom to make the frame thicker. And now the central long stick is clamped between the crossbars at the top and bottom. Finally, I'm adding 2 more long sticks on each side of the frame, and now all the cross sticks are sandwiched between the long ones. A bit fast, but I hope everything is clear from the video. Next, take the wire left over from disassembling the garland and twist the frame in every corner and also everywhere the sticks meet. You want to twist them tightly so that the sticks hold together well. In the corners I additionally tied the frame with natural rope, and after that I let the sticks dry completely for about a week. After drying, you can add some decorations. I decorated the bottom with spruce branches, cones and berries to make it look like the frame has a flower box at the bottom. I also added some lighting garland. Here I got a nice little garland. I also bought a Dollar Tree with little wooden stars. I tried to place the stars, putting light bulb up to make it look like it has a small candle inside every star, and hot glued them to the bottom of the frame, hiding the wires behind the spruce branches as well as I could. I also added a couple of small birds over the frame. I've borrowed them from my last year's decoration for Easter. Now tie all the wires behind the frame so that nothing shows from the front, and make a holding loop from natural rope. Such a frame made of natural branches is very good alternative to a wreath. If for some reason you are like tired of them or something, you can hang such a frame over a wall or a door. It's quick and easy to make, and you can decorate the whole thing with little Christmas bubbles, bows, add some Christmas signs over the top and the like. I was thinking over the next project for about maybe 2 years when I saw beautiful deep frames with illuminated branches at Pinterest and wanted to make such a decoration for quite a while, but put it off all the time. And on my last visit to Dollar Tree, I found this house deep frame and I decided it would be just perfect for this project. I cut some twigs in the garden and started modeling. I tried to choose the most beautiful branchings and cut the branches along the borders of the house frame. After that, I set aside the branches for about a week to dry well. The backdrop here is certainly not very wintry, so I printed a picture with a winter forest. I took it from the graphicsfairy.com and cut it to fit into the house. I'll link the picture in the description box below the video. I covered the back in white glue, attached the picture and covered the surface of the picture with white glue again, and then smoothed it well to drive out all the bubbles, and after that I left it to dry. I wanted to add some volume to the picture, therefore I applied hot glue to the snow-covered branches of the spruce and sprinkled it with white glitter, and later shook off the excess. After this, snow over the branches looks more voluminous and twinkles beautifully in the light of the garland. The backdrop is ready now. Let's attach the branches. Try on the chosen branch, apply hot glue on the tips and immediately put it inside the house. To glue everything neatly, I first glued only the upper tips of the branches, then inserted the bottom end in the desired position and added some hot glue around it. At the very end, I added even more hot glue near the lower ends and covered all this with glitter. I dry brushed the branches a little with white acrylic paint. Here I hurried a little better do this after installing the backlight. Now backlight. I have here wire garland bought at AliExpress. It's 16 feet long on a thin copper wire. At first I thought that this one would be too long, but in fact it was just enough, well, maybe just a little bit too long. 10 feet would be just perfect. I inserted the garland into the gap between the bottom and the wall and then wrapped all the branches, moving from top to bottom and then from bottom to top and trying not to go through the same place twice. In the end, I had some extra wire left, so I had to wrap the thickest branch several times. Somehow I didn't think I could just cut off the excess, but it turned out to be the most highlighted one. To make the garland less visible a little, I dry brushed everything in white again. It was very helpful because the paint was scratched here and there and rubbed off a little. That's why better dry brushing after installing the garland. I also glued lamps of cotton wool with acrylic varnish, then covered cotton with varnish again and added a little of white glitter. I also put these 4 snowdrifts to the places where the wire goes from trunk to hide it. And finally I decided to add a little reindeer in the winter forest. I had a plastic toy of a suitable size, but unfortunately it's not very nicely painted, so I repainted it white. Now it's not very natural, of course, but much better than the original colors, especially since the backdrop is also black and white here. I had glued the finished reindeer to the corner of the house. It turned out to be a very nice forest house. These houses are gorgeous for all kinds of compositions inside. While I was editing this video, I came up with another interesting idea for children with a snowman and Christmas trees inside. I think I'll show it to you in one of the future videos. And I also bought these ceramic houses. I bought 4 variations of these, all they had. Unfortunately, they have absolutely awful lighting. I didn't like it at all, so I pulled out the electrical parts, gently prying them around the perimeter with a knife so that everything would come off. I also didn't like the coloring of the houses and like the shape. I wanted to see them more minimalistic, so I primed and then painted the houses white. You can use any primer suitable for the glass and ceramics, either in a can or aerosol. I'll link some variants in the description box below the video. I had to paint in 3 or 4 layers until it covered the bright red color of the roofs. Christmas trees and stars here I squeezed out in the houses. I would prefer smooth walls, and I was going to cover these dents somehow or hide behind small Christmas trees, but after painting they no longer stood out so much, so in the end I just decided to cover these places with glitter, and also added glitter over the roofs. I applied some acrylic varnish and then some white glitter and shook off the excess. After that, I varnished the rest of the houses. To complement these houses, I bought a couple of Christmas trees, but they looked a little bit boring, and I decided to dress them up. To do this, I bought some plastic beads. They are also from Dollar Tree and very cheap, but look surprisingly good. The beads are glued to the thread, so it wasn't possible just to disassemble them, and I had to cut off every bead. Next, I had glued the beads over the tree. The beads are rather small, and in order not to bump with hot glue, better if you use tweezers. Hot glue sticks the beads to the string from which they are made very quickly and very tightly, so that gluing doesn't take much time. The main thing is to try to place all the beads at approximately the same distance from each other. If I had same color beads of different sizes, I think it would have looked even better. For the second tree, I took red beads. These are larger ones, and I like white and red combo. Looks very nice. After I covered both Christmas trees and put them to the houses, I realized that 2 trees are absolutely not enough for me, and besides I needed several sizes of trees. So we went to the nearest Dollar Tree and I bought 2 more Christmas trees, which I divided into 2 parts with wire cutters. I trimmed the lower part, which remained over the stand, trying to make a right form of a tree. As for the remaining top, here I cut off the strings a little, drilled a recess in a small wooden slice and hot glued the tree there. I'm very pleased with the finished composition. The houses with Christmas trees are perfectly combined and everything together looks rather minimalistic and at the same time bright and Christmassy. I originally planned to insert electrical tea candles inside the houses, but alas, the holes in the bottom turned out to be too small, so I'll look for some tiny candles that would fit inside or use a garland. Hope you liked the video, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell in order not to miss my new videos. Have a great day and bye!